to
I
our own
understand
city.
You're
exactly
being
what y'all
edited
saying. What I'm
somewhat.
saying is, as a mass, right? As a mass, I don't feel like that is something that, like, you know how they'll make it, like the media will push that is black people, but that statistically speaking, right? That's not the norm for us, right? We're not vicious or malicious people. We're not violent people, but circumstances has made us be that way. That's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, I don't know. We don't know how long the world has been in existence for, right? But yeah, you'll see that throughout history because that is human nature. But I now speaking like today, I don't feel like that is our nature. I don't feel like that's something that we kind of inherit on our own. I feel like that
Well,
is something
no,
that we
no, Ash,
adapted.
I
it's
agree.
definitely it's definitely
I
a
think
thing
ignorant
today.
violence was definitely inherited because when violence was orchestrated back then, it was for power, it was for land, it was for this, it was for that. Of course, you got the low laughs too, but I do agree with Ash to some point. As a culture, I don't think it was always us this ignorant as a whole, like the way they just try to put the ignorant violence on us, senseless violence on us. I could agree with her to that point, but what they're saying is this is a man thing. Like this is what men do. You know what I'm saying? For power. It's just unfortunately in America right now, a lot of the power, especially when it comes to our hood, is due to clout. You know what I'm saying? It's not no, oh, let me like the reasonings are different. I can agree on that. Like
But even still, to your point, Di, maybe they felt at that time it was for higher power, larger land. But you can argue that some of these kids in the hood are fighting for the same thing, right? They want to be the most
They
powerful
believe it.
gang. They're taking the land of another gang member's
I agree.
territory. It's still fighting for the same things.
Yeah, I
It's
get
But
what
just on a
so
much
well,
smaller
it's not,
scale.
and sometimes it's not territory. That's why I said some of it is for clout. You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't went out
Sometimes
west,
you got to
out
prove
south, and
yourself.
yeah, I
You
well
went
know,
out south, out west, and
that cloud
Bellwood.
is
But in Bellwood, what I noticed is when I hit high school, a lot of these guys was not like in the suburbs, that's the west suburbs. And it's not like the white suburbs, it is predominantly black. But when I noticed in high school, they was adapting to this mentality. It's like, bro, you don't even got a block. We don't have blocks out here in Bellwood where you sell weed at. You know what I'm saying? It was literally for clout and it was kind of
what Bellwood is the hood. The Bellwood been the hood
no,
for a
May. You
minute. For
probably
a
thinking
minute.
about Maywood, but Bellwood was not really like that. Like when we was younger, we didn't have like when I used to go out west and kick it with my dad and them on the weekends. I seen people fighting at the park, getting down at it, like kids staying outside by themselves to 10 o'clock at night, 12 o'clock at night. Bellwood, you come out to Bellwood at 9 o'clock at night, the streets are clear. It's not like how it is in the city where these little boys are on the block for all the way at nighttime hustling. Some little boys was just delivering packs on the street while he was supposed to be in school. So what I'm saying is the extent is different. Like what Ty was saying is like they're fighting for territory, they're fighting for this. Where these dudes out here, they don't have no. They doing it. A lot of dudes out here started for clout. Like it was literally for clout. There was no money, no
Well,
money behind it. It was no land
well,
behind it. It
well,
was just
that
to say I was the toughest.
Dad, the clout is being deemed as respect for them. So that is the territory in a sense. Now I will say this in agreement with what Ash is saying to her point, right? At one point within the culture of Africans, right? We were we innately black people are more forgiving. There I forget what tribe exactly it is, but there was a guy that came to Spain. He came from Spain to Africa, right? That tribe, they welcomed him in. They gave him a position of power within the tribe. And went back to Spain and said, "Hey, I got some guys out here in Africa that I'm on board with." Came back, paid them off for some slaves, took them back, came back again, and ended up taking the entire tribe, right? And the entire time, that tribe, they were still like, oh, it's okay, we understand. They were still forgiving. In which I think that is our biggest downfall because we're so forgiving now and we want to be a part of white people and we want to be accepted with them and integrated. So now we're in this position to where we feel like we have to be a part of what they got going on instead of just being content with our own selves, right? There was a documentary on the Dylan Roof guy that went and unalived all them people at that church in Mississippi or something like that, right? The white boy. When they were on trial, the family of the 16, however many people that this boy unalived, got up in court and said, "Oh, it's okay, we forgive you." And the first responding officer, which was a white man, he said, when they said that, I couldn't believe that. I could never forgive somebody that did something like that. So I do agree with you in that sense. We're way too forgiving to where we allow for people to just run over us and then we don't do anything. But if we do it to ourselves, we gonna tear the block up. It's so I give you that, but I think that that's our greatest downfall.
I don't see it as a downfall
Me
necessarily,
either.
because also if you look at Black culture, we are extremely spiritual based, right? Not even religious necessarily. We are spiritual based. We are grounded in our spirit, and it's always been like that. And I feel that we understand more than anything that forgiveness is not for the person that does something to hurt you. Forgiveness is for you. For you to forgive means that you let go of that hurt. I'll never forget what you did, but I have to forgive you in order to continue to move on. If not, I'll hold up all of this resentment and hate towards you. And I think that's one of our downfalls, is that we battle with that a lot. We don't want to forgive. It's innately in us to let that pain go. But because we are picking up white culture and they are known not to forgive, they are not bound. Well, I'm not going to say they, some of them are not bound in the spirit. Western civilization isn't necessarily bound in the spirit, it's bound in religion. It's the difference, right? They don't preach to let things necessarily go when people hurt you that way, in the way that we need to let it go. And
No,
because of that,
it's
we
and
fight
that
against that feeling, and that creates anger, because a lot of Black people hold a lot of emotions on our sleeves. We let you in easily because that's who we are. It has been a part of our downfall, but it's also been the reason we can always wipe ourselves up, get back up, and do better than other people around us.